Facing our nation and the Lowcountry, addressed tonight. Prices on the rise, with consumers facing the brunt of stubborn inflation. The fallout of an historic Supreme Court ruling on abortion. And the crisis at the southern border. Tonight, two candidates hoping to take elected office for the first time. Mac DeFord, an attorney and U.S. Coast Guard veteran, and Michael B. Moore, a business executive, will meet face to face. With just days to go until voters decide who gets the Democratic nomination, tonight, you choose who gets your vote. Live from the News 2 studio in Mount Pleasant, South Carolina, this is the 1st Congressional District Democratic Primary Debate.
Good evening and welcome. I am your host, Brendan Clark, and yes, we are less than a week away from South Carolina's 1st Congressional District primary race on Tuesday, June 11th. Voters making their final decisions on which candidates they would like to see on the November ballot, the seat currently held by Republican incumbent Nancy Mace. Over the next 60 minutes, you will hear from Democratic candidates Mac DeFord and Michael B. Moore. Tonight, we are broadcasting to viewers across South Carolina's Lowcountry. Voters in Charleston, Berkeley, and Dorchester counties are joining us on WCBD News 2. Beaufort, Bluffton, and Hilton Head voters are watching this debate on WSAV. For those of you who are following along at home, feel free to use the hashtag SC01 debate. But before we get started with tonight's topics, first, the rules. Mr. DeFord, Mr. Moore, you'll have 60 seconds to answer each question. If there is a follow-up question or rebuttal, you'll have 30 seconds. And when your time is up, you will hear this sound. Each candidate will also have 60 seconds for a closing statement. So, with that being said, it is time to begin the 1st Congressional District Democratic Debate with tonight's moderators, WCBD's Carolyn Murray and WSAV's Ben Sanger. Carolyn, Ben, the floor is yours.
Brendan, thank you. Good evening, candidates, and welcome to our audience watching at home, on air, and online.
A card draw determined who will go first. So, Mr. Michael B. Moore, the first question is for you tonight, and we are going to begin with the economy. So we polled News 2 viewers last week, and they said that inflation is one of the biggest issues facing the 1st Congressional District. Everyday South Carolinians are struggling to provide basic needs for their families. So, Mr. Moore, what is one idea you would champion to bring relief to Lowcountry consumers? Be specific. You have 60 seconds.
Well, first, thanks for this wonderful event. It's great to have an opportunity to share on such a broad platform. Look, my background's in business. I talk about the economy and the need that we need to create a more inclusive economy every time I'm out. People are struggling. There may be some macroeconomic indicators that are positive, but on whole, people are struggling with various costs, the cost of housing, the cost of child care, the cost of medical care. So I think, look, one thing that I have talked long about is just first we need a little bit of honesty on this. I think a lot of the inflation that we're experiencing is companies basically taking advantage of the situation to raise their prices and to maximize their profits. And I think we need to have a little bit more of a rational approach to things. I can talk more about this going forward, but I think it's a partnership between business and between government to have a much fairer approach to this.
Thank you. Mr. DeFord, what is one idea you would champion to bring relief to Lowcountry consumers? Be specific. You have 60 seconds.
Absolutely. So, I think that we have made a lot of good strides. I mean, we were in the middle of a global pandemic. President Biden came into office and saw us out of that pandemic. We've had monumental legislation passed under the Biden administration, in particular the Inflation Reduction Act, and I still think we're going to see a lot of the benefits from that law that are going to come to fruition. But we also have to address local issues here to make sure that the pressures of financial constraints are not overburdening families. One of the things, I have a lot of background in local government. I was an attorney for the 4th largest municipality here in South Carolina and general counsel for a municipality in Beaufort County. And I think housing is one of the most critical issues locally here, and being able to bring affordable housing projects to the Lowcountry to help families.
And a follow-up for you, Mr. DeFord, how would you like to pay for what you would like to do? You have 30 seconds.
Absolutely. I think that there's already a lot of money there. This could be reallocation of funds within the, and not just the Inflation Reduction Act, but also the bipartisan infrastructure bill. Housing is infrastructure. And we also have to think outside of silos. Housing is more than just providing a roof over one's head. It's also health care, because we know that having access to quality housing has a direct impact on people's health outcomes.
Thank you. Mr. Moore, how will you pay for it in 30 seconds?
Well, look, I think a lot of what I am proposing, what I initially proposed in terms of looking at how companies, corporate America, and how governments can look to push a lot of this price gouging down, there really isn't a cost involved, but there are all kinds of things. I also believe it's really important to look at the income side, the salary side. I think costs are going up, but we also need to fight to ensure that working families have a living wage, and that they're able to track with the various increases in expenses.
Thank you. That's your time. We're going to stay with the economy, but move on here. So data from the U.S. Bureau of Labor Statistics shows that in September of 2023, the average weekly wage in South Carolina was $1,086. According to MIT, a single person with one child working full-time would need to earn about $1,400 a week to live comfortably in this state. So, Mr. Moore, you have said that you want to create an economy that works for everyone. So how will you work as a member of Congress to do that? You have 60 seconds.
Well, look, I think part of what is at the core of what we're doing is I think, despite what many in this state believe, I think labor unions can be a very important piece of the puzzle. We take for granted so many of the gains that have come from labor unions. Look, they're out to fight for the interests of working families, and if management and shareholders have the right to bargain and to collectively, sort of advance their issues, why shouldn't working families? We've gotten the support, the endorsement of a number of important labor unions, the longshoremen here, the ILA, largest and most influential union, endorsed us. The government workers, just last week, 750,000 government workers endorsed us, because we're out fighting for working families and trying to figure out ways to not only help them to earn, sort of decent wages, good wages to take care of their families, but also holding down costs from companies.
Thank you.